Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English with Aurora. I'm so excited to have you here today, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. You're in the right place to improve your English in the most practical and natural way possible. We upload a brand new English learning video every single day, so you'll always have fresh content to practice with. Today, we're going to learn 75 essential English phrases for daily conversation. These are the phrases that native speakers use constantly. And by the end of this video, you'll improve not only your listening, but also your speaking and fluency. You'll sound more confident, more natural, and more like a native speaker in everyday situations. These 75 phrases are going to transform the way you communicate in English. Whether you're at work, hanging out with friends, shopping at the store, or just making small talk, these phrases will give you the tools you need to express yourself clearly and confidently. I've carefully selected each one because they're incredibly useful, and you'll hear them all the time in real conversations. So if you're ready to take your English to the next level, let's dive right in. But before we start, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a lesson. We're building an amazing community of English learners here, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Also, grab a pen and paper if you can. Writing these phrases down will help you remember them even better. All right, let's get started. Let's begin with one of the most common phrases you'll ever use. How's it going? This is a casual way to ask someone how they are. It's very informal and friendly, and you'll use it with friends, colleagues, or anyone you feel comfortable with. It's more relaxed than saying, "How are you?" And it makes you sound natural and approachable. Imagine you see your friend at a coffee shop. You walk up to them and say, "Hey, how's it going?" They might reply with "Pretty good, thanks. How about you?" Or "Not bad, just busy with work." You can respond with "Same here" or "I'm doing well, thanks for asking." See how simple and natural that is? You've just started a friendly conversation with one phrase. You can use this phrase anytime you want to greet someone in a relaxed way. For example, imagine you run into a coworker in the hallway at work. You smile and say, "Hey, how's it going?" They say, "Good, just heading to a meeting." You? And you reply, "Just grabbing some coffee. Catch you later." This small exchange shows friendliness and keeps things light and easy. Now let's look at another essential phrase. What's up? This is even more casual than "How's it going?" And it's used mostly with friends or people you know well. It's a way to say hello and ask what someone is doing or how they're feeling, all at the same time. Native speakers use this constantly. Imagine you're texting a friend and you start the conversation with, "Hey, what's up?" They might reply with, "Not much, just chilling." You? Or "Just finished work, wanna hang out?" You can respond with "Sounds good" or "I'm free, let's do it." This phrase is perfect for starting casual conversations, and it makes you sound friendly and relaxed. Let's move on to "long time no see." This phrase is used when you haven't seen someone in a while. It's a warm and friendly way to acknowledge that it's been some time since you last met. You can use it with friends, old classmates, or anyone you haven't seen recently. Imagine you're at a party and you see someone you went to school with years ago. You walk up to them and say, "Hey, long time no see. How have you been?" They smile and say, "I know it's been forever. I've been great. How about you?" You reply, "I've been good, just keeping busy with work." This phrase instantly makes the conversation feel warm and reconnects you with that person. Another phrase you need to know is, "I'm good, thanks." This is a simple and polite response when someone asks how you are. It's neutral, positive, and works in almost any situation. You can use it at work, with friends, or even with strangers. For example, imagine someone at the grocery store asks, "How are you today?" You smile and say, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" They reply, "I'm doing well, thank you." It's a quick, friendly exchange that shows politeness and keeps the conversation flowing naturally. Let's look at "What have you been up to?" This phrase is used to ask someone what they've been doing recently. It's great for catching up with someone you haven't seen in a while or just making conversation. It shows genuine interest in the other person's life. Imagine you meet a friend for lunch. You sit down and say, "So, what have you been up to lately?" They might say, "Oh, I've been working on a new project at work. It's been pretty intense. What about you?" You reply, "Not much, just trying to stay busy. Sounds like you've got a lot going on." This phrase keeps the conversation engaging and shows you care about what they're doing. Now let's talk about "I've been meaning to." This phrase is used when you've been planning or intending to do something but haven't done it yet. It's very common in everyday conversation and makes you sound thoughtful. Imagine you run into a friend and you say, "Hey, I've been meaning to call you. We should catch up soon." They say, "Yes, absolutely. I've been meaning to reach out too. Let's plan something." You reply, "Great, how about this weekend?" This phrase shows that you've been thinking about the person and it helps you reconnect. Let's continue with "It's been a while." This is similar to "long time no see," but it's slightly more general. You can use it to talk about not seeing someone, not doing something, or not visiting a place for a long time. For example, imagine you go back to a restaurant you used to love. You tell your friend, "Wow, it's been a while since we came here. I forgot how good the food is." Your friend says, "I know, we should come more often." You reply, "Definitely, let's make it a regular thing." This phrase adds a nice reflective tone to your conversation. Now, a phrase that will save you in many situations. "I'm not sure." This is a polite and honest way to say you don't know something. It's much better than just saying, "I don't know," because it sounds more thoughtful and less abrupt. Imagine someone at work asks you, "Do you know when the meeting starts?" You reply, "I'm not sure, but I can check the schedule." They say, "That would be great, thanks." You've just responded politely and offered to help. You can also say, "I'm not sure, but Sarah might know," or "I'm not sure off the top of my head." These variations make you sound considerate and professional. Let's look at "that makes sense." This phrase is used to show that you understand something or that something is logical to you. It's a great way to acknowledge what someone is saying and keep the conversation flowing. Imagine a friend is explaining why they can't come to your party. They say, "I have a family dinner that night, so I won't be able to make it." You reply, "Oh, that makes sense. No worries, we'll hang out another time." They say, "Thanks for understanding." This phrase shows empathy and agreement, and it's used all the time in natural conversation. Another essential phrase is "that sounds good." This is a simple way to agree with a plan or suggestion. It's positive, friendly, and very commonly used. For example, imagine your friend suggests, "How about we meet at 6 for dinner?" You reply, "That sounds good to me. Where do you want to go?" They say, "Maybe that Italian place downtown." You respond, "Perfect, I love that place." This phrase helps you agree quickly and keeps the planning process smooth and easy. Now let's practice a short conversation using some of the phrases we've learned so far. Imagine you bump into an old friend at the mall. You say, "Hey, long time no see. How's it going?" Your friend replies, "I'm good, thanks. What have you been up to?" You say, "Not much, just working and trying to stay busy. It's been a while since we hung out." Your friend says, "I know, we should grab coffee soon." You reply, "That sounds good. I've been meaning to catch up with you." Your friend says, "Great, let's plan something this week." You say, "Perfect, I'll text you." This conversation uses multiple phrases naturally and shows how they all work together in real life. Let's move on to "I'll let you know." This phrase is used when you need to give someone an answer later. It's polite and shows that you're thinking about their request or question. Imagine a coworker asks, "Are you coming to the team lunch on Friday?" You're not sure yet, so you say, "I'm not sure if I'm free, but I'll let you know by tomorrow." They reply, "Sounds good, just let me know when you can." This phrase is perfect for buying yourself time to make a decision without being rude. Now let's talk about I'm on my way. This phrase tells someone that you're currently traveling to meet them or go somewhere. It's incredibly useful and you'll use it all the time. For example, imagine you're meeting a friend and you're running a few minutes late. You text them, "Sorry, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 10 minutes." They reply, "No problem, see you soon." This phrase reassures the other person and keeps communication clear. Let's look at "I'll be right back." This phrase is used when you need to leave briefly but you're coming back soon. It's very common in everyday situations. Imagine you're at a restaurant with friends and you need to use the restroom. You say, "Excuse me, I'll be right back." Your friends say, "Sure, take your time." When you return, you just sit down and continue the conversation. This phrase is simple but essential for polite communication. Another phrase you'll use constantly is, "I'm running late." This is a polite way to tell someone you're not going to arrive on time. It's much better than just showing up late without any warning. For example, imagine you're supposed to meet someone at 2 o'clock but you're stuck in traffic. You call them and say, "Hey, I'm really sorry, but I'm running late. I should be there in about 15 minutes." They reply, "No worries, thanks for letting me know." This phrase shows respect for the other person's time and keeps them informed. Let's continue with "take your time." This phrase is used to tell someone they don't need to rush. It's kind, patient, and very polite. Imagine a friend is getting ready and they apologize for taking long. They say, "Sorry, I just need a few more minutes." You reply, "No problem, take your time. We're not in a hurry." This phrase makes the other person feel comfortable and shows that you're understanding. Now let's look at "it's up to you." This phrase means the decision is theirs to make. It's a way to give someone the choice and show that you're flexible. For example, imagine you and a friend are deciding where to eat. Your friend asks, "Where do you want to go?" You say, "I'm fine with anything, it's up to you." They reply, "Okay, how about pizza?" You say, "That sounds good to me." This phrase shows that you're easygoing and willing to let others decide. Another useful phrase is, "I don't mind." This means you're okay with either option or you don't have a strong preference. It's similar to "it's up to you," but more about your own flexibility. Imagine someone asks, "Do you mind if we leave a bit earlier?" You reply, "No, I don't mind at all, whatever works for you." They say, "Great, thanks for being flexible." This phrase makes you sound cooperative and agreeable. Let's talk about "that's fine by me." This is another way to show agreement or say that something works for you. It's positive and friendly. For example, imagine your friend suggests a time to meet. They say, "How about 3 o'clock?" You reply, "That's fine by me, see you then." This phrase confirms your agreement and keeps things simple and clear. Now let's practice another conversation. Imagine you're planning to meet a friend for coffee. Your friend texts you, "Hey, what's up? Are you free this afternoon?" You reply, "I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm free. What time works for you?" Your friend says, "How about 3?" You text back, "That's fine by me. Where should we meet?" Your friend replies, "The coffee shop on Main Street." You say, "Sounds good. I'll see you there." Your friend says, "Great, see you soon." This conversation flows naturally and uses several phrases we've just learned. Let's move on to "I appreciate it." This is a polite and heartfelt way to thank someone. It's more formal than just saying "thanks," and it shows genuine gratitude. Imagine a coworker helps you with a project. You say, "Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it." They reply, "No problem, happy to help." This phrase makes your gratitude clear and strengthens your relationship with that person. Another important phrase is, "Thanks for letting me know." This is used when someone gives you information and you want to acknowledge it politely. For example, imagine a friend texts you, "Hey, the party is canceled tonight." You reply, "Oh, okay, thanks for letting me know." This phrase shows that you received the information and you're grateful they told you. Let's look at no worries. This is a casual way to say it's okay or don't worry about it. It's very common and makes you sound friendly and relaxed. Imagine someone apologizes for being late. They say, "Sorry, I'm late." You reply, "No worries, you're here now. Let's get started." This phrase reassures them that everything is fine and there's no problem. Now let's talk about my bad. This is a very informal way to say I'm sorry or that was my mistake. It's used mostly with friends or in casual situations. For example, imagine you accidentally bump into someone. You quickly say, "Oh, my bad, I wasn't looking where I was going." They say, "It's okay, no problem." This phrase is quick, casual, and shows you acknowledge your mistake. Let's continue with, "I'm sorry to hear that." This phrase shows empathy when someone tells you something unfortunate or sad. It's kind and supportive. Imagine a friend tells you, "I didn't get the job I applied for." You reply, "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I know how much you wanted it." They say, "Thanks, I appreciate it. I'll keep looking." This phrase shows that you care and you're there for them. Another phrase you need is, "That's too bad." This is similar to "I'm sorry to hear that," but it's slightly less formal. It shows disappointment or sympathy. For example, imagine someone says, "The concert was canceled." You reply, "Oh, that's too bad. I was really looking forward to it." This phrase expresses your disappointment in a natural and relatable way. Let's look at "I'm looking forward to it." This phrase expresses excitement about something that's going to happen in the future. It's positive and enthusiastic. Imagine a friend invites you to their birthday party. You say, "Thanks for inviting me. I'm really looking forward to it." They reply, "I'm so glad you can come." This phrase shows genuine excitement and makes the other person feel good. Now let's talk about "I can't wait." This is an even more enthusiastic way to express excitement. It means you're very eager for something to happen. For example, imagine you're going on vacation next week. You tell your friend, "I'm going to Hawaii next week and I can't wait." They say, "That sounds amazing. Have a great time." This phrase shows high energy and enthusiasm. Let's practice another conversation. Imagine you're talking to a friend about weekend plans. You say, "Hey, are you free on Saturday?" Your friend replies, "Yeah, I think so. What's up?" You say, "I was thinking we could go hiking. The weather is supposed to be great." Your friend says, "That sounds good. I'm looking forward to it." You reply, "Me too. I can't wait. It's been a while since we went hiking." Your friend says, "I know it'll be fun. What time should we meet?" You say, "How about 9 in the morning?" Your friend replies, "That's fine by me. I'll see you then." This conversation is natural, flows well, and uses many of the phrases we've learned. Let's move on to "I totally agree." This phrase shows strong agreement with what someone is saying. It's enthusiastic and supportive. Imagine a friend says, "I think we should take more breaks at work. It helps with productivity." You reply, "I totally agree. I always feel better after a short break." This phrase reinforces their point and shows you're on the same page. Another useful phrase is, "You're right." This is a simple way to acknowledge that someone has made a valid point. It's honest and respectful. For example, imagine someone says, "We should leave now if we want to avoid traffic." You say, "You're right, let's go." This phrase shows you accept their reasoning and you're ready to act on it. Let's look at "That's a good point." This phrase acknowledges someone's idea or argument as valuable. It shows you're listening and thinking about what they said. Imagine you're in a meeting and a colleague suggests a new approach. They say, "Maybe we should try a different marketing strategy." You reply, "That's a good point. We should definitely consider it." This phrase validates their contribution and encourages further discussion. Now let's talk about I see what you mean. This phrase shows you understand someone's perspective or explanation. It's thoughtful and engaged. For example, imagine a friend is explaining why they prefer online shopping. They say, it's just so much more convenient and you can compare prices easily. You reply, yeah, I see what you mean. It does save a lot of time. This phrase shows empathy and understanding. Let's continue with, that's interesting. This is a neutral but positive way to respond to information. It shows you're paying attention and you find the topic worth discussing. Imagine someone tells you, I just read that coffee can actually improve your memory. You reply, oh, that's interesting. I drink coffee every day, so that's good to know. This phrase keeps the conversation going and shows curiosity. Another phrase you'll use often is, I didn't know that. This is used when someone tells you something new. It's honest and shows you're learning from the conversation. For example, imagine a friend says, did you know that honey never spoils? You reply, really? I didn't know that. That's fascinating. This phrase acknowledges new information and expresses surprise or interest. Let's look at I had no idea. This is a stronger version of I didn't know that. It expresses more surprise. Imagine someone tells you, Sarah is moving to Canada next month. You say, what? I had no idea. That's such big news. This phrase shows genuine surprise and makes the conversation more dynamic. Now let's talk about I guess so. This phrase shows mild agreement or acceptance. It's not enthusiastic, but it's not negative either. It's somewhere in the middle. For example, imagine someone says, we should probably bring an umbrella. It might rain later. You reply, yeah, I guess so. Better safe than sorry. This phrase shows you accept the idea even if you're not super excited about it. Let's continue with I suppose. This is very similar to I guess so. It shows reluctant agreement or acceptance of something. Imagine someone says, we have to wake up early tomorrow for the trip. You reply, I suppose we do. I just wish we could sleep in. This phrase shows you understand the necessity even if you're not thrilled about it. Let's practice another conversation. Imagine you're discussing a movie with a friend. Your friend says, I really loved the ending. It was so unexpected. You reply, I totally agree. I didn't see that coming at all. Your friend says, right, the whole movie was just really well done. You say, you're right, the acting was great too. Your friend says, did you know the director also made that other movie we watched last year? You reply, really? I had no idea. That's interesting. Your friend says, yeah, apparently they've won a bunch of awards. You say, I didn't know that. I should check out more of their work. This conversation flows naturally and includes many phrases that show engagement and interest. Let's move on to, what do you think? This phrase asks for someone's opinion. It's a great way to involve others in the conversation and show you value their input. Imagine you're shopping with a friend and you try on a shirt. You ask, what do you think? Does this look good on me? They reply, yeah, I think it looks great. You should get it. This phrase makes the conversation interactive and collaborative. Another important phrase is, how about you? This is used to return a question or topic back to the other person. It keeps the conversation balanced. For example, imagine someone asks, how was your weekend? You reply, it was good, I just relaxed at home. How about you? They say, mine was great. I went hiking with some friends. This phrase shows you're interested in them too, not just talking about yourself. Let's look at what about you? This is almost identical to how about you and serves the same purpose. Imagine someone says, I'm thinking about getting a new phone. You ask, what about you? Are you happy with yours? They reply, yeah, mine still works fine. This phrase redirects the conversation and keeps both people engaged. Now let's talk about, by the way. This phrase is used to introduce a new topic or add additional information. It's very common in casual conversation. For example, imagine you're talking to a friend and you suddenly remember something. You say, "Oh, by the way, did you hear about the new restaurant opening downtown?" They say, "No, I didn't. When does it open?" This phrase smoothly transitions to a new topic without being abrupt. Let's continue with speaking of which. This phrase connects what you're about to say with something that was just mentioned. It creates a natural flow. Imagine you're talking about movies and someone mentions a famous actor. You say, "Speaking of which, I just saw his new movie last week. It was amazing." This phrase shows your comment is related and keeps the conversation coherent. Another phrase you'll hear all the time is, "anyway." This is used to change the subject, return to a previous topic, or wrap up a point. It's incredibly versatile. For example, imagine you've been chatting about various things and you want to get to the main point. You say, "Anyway, the reason I called is to see if you want to grab lunch tomorrow." This phrase redirects the conversation efficiently. Let's look at "to be honest." This phrase introduces your genuine opinion or feeling. It makes your statement sound sincere and candid. Imagine someone asks, "Do you like working from home?" You reply, "To be honest, I really miss being in the office. I like the social interaction." This phrase adds honesty and depth to your response. Now let's talk about actually. This word is used to correct something, add information, or express a different opinion. It's very common in natural speech. For example, imagine someone says, "You're from Canada, right?" You reply, "Actually, I'm from the United States, but I lived in Canada for a few years." This phrase gently corrects the misunderstanding without being rude. Let's continue with "I mean." This phrase is used to clarify, rephrase, or add to what you just said. Native speakers use it constantly, sometimes without even realizing it. Imagine you're explaining something and you want to be more specific. You say, "The meeting was okay. I mean, it was a bit long, but we got a lot done." This phrase helps you refine your statement and make your meaning clearer. Another essential phrase is, "you know." This is often used as a filler or to check if the other person understands or relates to what you're saying. For example, you might say, "It's just one of those days, you know? Everything feels a bit off." This phrase creates connection and assumes shared understanding. Let's practice a longer conversation using many of these phrases. Imagine you're catching up with a friend you haven't seen in months. You say, "Hey, long time no see. How's it going?" Your friend replies, "I'm good, thanks. What have you been up to?" You say, "Not much, just working a lot. It's been pretty busy. How about you?" Your friend says, "Same here. Work has been crazy. By the way, did you hear that Sarah got engaged?" You reply, "What? I had no idea. That's amazing. When did that happen?" Your friend says, "Last week, I think. She posted about it on social media." You say, "Oh, I must have missed that. I'm so happy for her. Speaking of which, we should all get together soon." Your friend says, "I totally agree. It's been too long. What do you think about planning something next month?" You reply, "That sounds good to me. I'll let you know what dates work." Your friend says, "Perfect. Anyway, I have to run, but let's definitely plan something." You say, "Sounds good. I'll text you." Your friend says, "Great, talk soon." This conversation is natural, flows perfectly, and uses many different phrases we've learned today. Let's move on to "it depends." This phrase means the answer changes based on different factors. It's useful when you can't give a simple yes or no answer. Imagine someone asks, "Do you like going to the gym?" You reply, "It depends. If I have time and I'm feeling motivated, yes. But some days I'd rather do something else." This phrase shows nuance and thoughtfulness in your response. Another phrase is "more or less." This means approximately or to some degree. It's a way to give a general answer without being too specific. For example, imagine someone asks, "Are you finished with your project?" You reply, "More or less, I just have a few small things left to do." This phrase indicates you're almost done, but not completely. Let's look at kind of or sort of. These phrases mean somewhat or to a certain extent. They soften your statement and make it less absolute. Imagine someone asks, "Did you enjoy the party?" You reply, "Kind of. It was fun, but it was really crowded and loud." This phrase shows your feelings were mixed and not entirely positive or negative. Now let's talk about not really. This is a polite way to say no or to express disagreement softly. It's less direct than just saying no. For example, imagine someone asks, "Do you want to go out tonight?" You reply, "Not really, I'm pretty tired. Maybe another time." This phrase declines the invitation gently and politely. Let's continue with "I'm afraid." This phrase introduces bad news or something negative in a polite way. It softens the impact of what you're about to say. Imagine someone asks if you can help them move this weekend. You reply, "I'm afraid I can't. I already have plans." This phrase makes your refusal sound more apologetic and considerate. Another useful phrase is, "I'd rather." This expresses your preference for one option over another. It's a polite way to state what you want. For example, imagine someone suggests going to a movie. You say, "I'd rather stay in tonight if that's okay. I'm really tired." This phrase clearly states your preference while still being polite. Let's look at "I feel like." This phrase introduces your opinion, desire, or observation in a casual way. It's very common in everyday speech. Imagine you're trying to decide what to eat. You say, "I feel like having pizza tonight. What do you think?" Your friend replies, "That sounds good to me." This phrase makes your suggestion sound casual and open to discussion. Now let's talk about "let me know." This phrase asks someone to inform you about something. It's friendly and commonly used. For example, imagine you're making plans with someone. You say, "Let me know when you're free and we'll set something up." They reply, "Will do, I'll check my schedule and text you." This phrase keeps communication open and ongoing. Let's continue with "keep in touch." This phrase is used when saying goodbye to someone you want to stay connected with. It expresses the desire to maintain the relationship. Imagine you're leaving a party and saying goodbye to a friend. You say, "It was great seeing you. Let's keep in touch." They reply, "Absolutely. Let's not wait so long next time." This phrase is warm and shows you value the friendship. Another phrase is catch up. This means to talk and share what's been happening in your lives. It's used when you haven't seen someone in a while. For example, you might say, "We should catch up soon. It's been way too long." Your friend replies, "I agree. Let's grab coffee next week." This phrase acknowledges the gap in communication and expresses the desire to reconnect. Let's look at hang out. This means to spend time together casually. It's very informal and commonly used among friends. Imagine a friend asks, "What are you doing this weekend?" You reply, "Nothing much. Do you want to hang out?" They say, "Yeah, that sounds fun. What do you want to do?" This phrase is relaxed and suggests spending time together without a specific plan. Now let's talk about make it. This phrase means to be able to attend or arrive at something. For example, imagine someone invites you to an event. You say, "I'll try to make it, but I might be working late." This phrase expresses your intention to attend while acknowledging uncertainty. Let's practice one more comprehensive conversation. Imagine you're texting a friend about weekend plans. You say, "Hey, what are you up to this weekend?" Your friend replies, "Not much. I was thinking about just relaxing at home. What about you?" You say, "I feel like doing something fun. Want to hang out?" Your friend says, "Sure, that sounds good. What do you have in mind?" You reply, "We could go to that new arcade downtown." I've been meaning to check it out. Your friend says, "Oh, I've heard about that place. It looks cool. What time?" You say, "How about Saturday afternoon around 2?" Your friend replies, "That's fine by me. I'll let you know if anything changes." You say, "Perfect. I'm looking forward to it." Your friend says, "Me too. See you then." You reply, "See you Saturday." This conversation uses many phrases naturally and shows how they all work together to create smooth, authentic communication. We've covered so many essential phrases today, and I'm so proud of you for sticking with me through this entire lesson. These 75 phrases are the building blocks of natural English conversation. The more you use them, the more confident and fluent you'll become. Remember, learning a language isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every phrase you learn, every conversation you practice, every mistake you make brings you one step closer to your goal. I want you to start using these phrases today. Try them out with friends, use them in your everyday situations, practice them out loud when you're alone. The more you practice, the more natural they'll feel. And before you know it, these phrases will become second nature to you. You'll be using them without even thinking about it, just like native speakers do. If you enjoyed this lesson and found it helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me know what content you love, and it helps other English learners find these lessons too. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We upload a new English learning video every single day, so you'll always have fresh content to practice with. Share this video with your friends who are learning English too. Let's build this amazing community together. Thank you so much for watching and for being here with me today. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Learning English is a journey, and I'm so honored to be part of yours. Remember, consistency is key. A little practice every day will take you so far. Don't give up, keep pushing forward, and celebrate every small victory along the way. You're doing amazing, and I believe in you. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one.